Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today is the new batch render tool that can be found in Matrix version 8. Batch render enables you to be able to create multiple renders of the same item but with different materials that have been applied. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open up my render menu and my render builder here, and I just want to position my piece in the viewport so that it'll render where I want it to render. And what we're going to do first is we're going to apply a few materials to the piece. So I'm going to bring out a ground plane, select that ground plane, and I'm going to go to just matte white will do fine, I think. So there you go, apply that there. The next thing I'll do is go into my metals material and select my shank there, and I'm just going to apply the yellow gold, select my setting, and I'll apply maybe platinum to that one there. Go into our stones, and I'm going to select diamond for the two side stones. They've all been grouped together. And for the center stone here, I think I'll select sapphire. So blue sapphire will do fine. Alright. You would select your style from the list that you have here. I'm going to stick with classic fast, and I'm going to hit render, and that's going to render up a piece for us, or our piece for us. With this render, you check that you're happy with the position of the actual piece, and I'm okay with where that sits, so that's all good to go. We're going to go into our batch render tool, and you can see here that we have up the top our run batch layer render. This will be the last step that you use. Our size, so we can change the size of the render to whatever it is that you're after within the Matrix V-Ray parameters. Our format, so it default comes out as a JPEG, but if you wanted to save it without the background, so an alpha, you could select a PNG file. You can also select a bitmap file too, and also you want to save these renders to a particular area. I like to save them onto my desktop. I've got a particular folder here set up for renders, so I'm going to select that one there. You can see that it's the batch layer render tool is going to give you a few different plots here, and we've got Metal 01, which is our green layer there. User layer 01, I don't know what that is, so let's refresh that. Yep, there we go. So we've got our lights. So lights are going to be the ground plane here. Metal 01 is going to be this green layer here. Gem 01 is the dark blue gem in the middle. Gem 03, the light gems, and obviously the heads layer is our purple layer here. We also see down in the materials section here the materials that we have already applied to this. So for the render that we did just before, we've got diamonds, platinum, sapphire, white gold, and yellow gold there. We can also see the views here, and let me just roll that up as well. So what we're going to do is, if we wanted to see different variations of this particular model with different materials applied, all we need to do is this. We can select some gemstones and select a stone there and just hit apply. Come down and maybe I'll select maybe a ruby, so that one there, and apply that. And it doesn't matter what you apply these to. It doesn't have to be that center stone. You could select the shank if you really wanted to. What we want is we want those materials to start populating this material section here so that we can select them later on. And I might go with a yellow stone, so let's maybe go with a yellow diamond and populate that one there. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to select the lights section, which is going to be our ground plane. Now really the only thing that we want applied to this particular ground plane is going to be our white matte material there. So we're going to leave that as is. As far as Metal 01, which is this green layer here, we might only want variations of platinum and say yellow gold. So we can select Metal 01 and just select, say, the yellow gold there and the platinum option there. Then for gem 01, maybe we only want to see the center gem as a yellow diamond, a normal diamond, a ruby, and a sapphire. So we're basically selecting all of those gemstones there, or maybe even an amethyst too, why not? As far as gem 03, the small gems on the side there, we might only want to see those as diamond, maybe ruby, and I don't know, I guess let's go with yellow as well. And then what we're going to do is select our head section as well. You might want to see that in both yellow, gold, and platinum too. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to also select the viewport that we want to view our renders in. Now typically I would use the perspective viewport and also the looking down viewport. It's pretty rare that I'll use the through finger and side viewport for something like this, mainly because, well, with this particular design you can't really see too much with it. If we had, you know, work down the sides here, maybe that might be a better option. Alright, once we're happy with that, we're going to hit Run Batch Layer Render. What that's going to do is it is going to render up some different variations of this particular piece. Now you can see up in the command line here that it's rendering 120 of these particular renders, and it will be saving each one of those into that folder that we designated, so the folder that's sitting on my desktop there. Now to save you the pain of watching all of these renders go through, cool as it may be, what I'm going to do is pause the video, and that way I'll come back when all the renders are finished and show you the end result. Okay, so that's finished that, and what we've ended up with, if we have a look in this folder here, is basically all of these, and there's 120 renders with different combinations of the materials. The thing to remember is that we've used a fairly fast style there, and the total of those 120 renders was I think it was about 13 or 14 minutes. So that being said, you know, if you were to have a you know, a slower style selected, then that would obviously take a lot longer to do, and you would leave that on overnight, and that you know, by the time you came in the morning they should all be completed and ready to go. Alright, so that's a quick look into Run Batch Layer, or the Batch Layer renderer, and I hope that helps.